Welcome to the Gavel. I'm Linda Akibe. To ban or not to ban smoking, that was the major thrust of a debate on the tobacco regulation bill in the Senate. The bill to regulate and control the production and sale of tobacco was a major bill which federal lawmakers in the Senate handled before the Salah and Independence Day celebration. And if this bill sounds familiar, yes, it was passed in the previous assembly but was not signed into law by the president. Anyway, this bill is once again making its way through the National Assembly, and let's see how the debate went on in the Senate. The bill to regulate and control the production, manufacture, sale and advertising of tobacco products is attempting another legislative trip through the National Assembly. The bill was passed in the 6th Senate and was sent to the presidency for assent, but this never happened. According to the sponsor of the bill, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, if passed into law, the bill would, among others, prevent and reduce the accessibility of tobacco products to young people.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, scientific evidence has unequivocally established that tobacco consumption and exposure to tobacco smoke causes death, disease, and disability. The compounds contained in and the smoke produced from tobacco and tobacco products are pharmacologically active, toxic, mutagenic, and carcinogenic. Prenatal exposure to tobacco smoke causes adverse health and developmental conditions for children, including mental retardation and miscarriages. Then we go to current statistics. Tobacco use is the leading cause of preventable death globally as of today, and tobacco use kills nearly 6 million people annually. It is estimated that this will rise to about 8 million in the next few years. Every day across the world, about 80,000 to 100,000 children around the world become addicted to tobacco. It is also estimated that about 600,000 people die every year globally from second-hand tobacco smoke. Tobacco use causes 1 in 6 non-communicable diseases across the world. And Nigeria's 2012 Global Adult Tobacco Survey reveals that about 10% of men and 1.1% of women and 5.6% overall currently use tobacco products, and that an estimated 6.4 million adults are exposed to tobacco smoke pollutants while visiting restaurants.
Senator Okowa then highlighted some sections of the bill.
The bill is in 6 parts and 37 sections and has 2 schedules. It provides generally for the following. 1. Protection of present and future generations from the devastating health, social, economic, and environmental consequences of tobacco use and exposure to tobacco smoke. 2. Promotion and protection of the population's rights to health, life, physical integrity, safe and healthy workplaces, and other rights adversely impacted by tobacco smoke exposure. 3. Mandatory information to consumers of the health consequences, addictive nature, and mortal threats posed by tobacco consumption and exposure to tobacco smoke. 4. Prevention and reduction of the accessibility of tobacco products to young people. 5. Ensuring that tobacco products are not designed in a way that makes them more addictive and attractive, especially for young persons. And 6. Regulation of tobacco products and disclosure of information about tobacco products to the government in order to effectively exercise its regulatory powers. And 7, ensuring that tobacco packaging and labeling do not mislead consumers, promote tobacco use or use of the product, or undermine health warning requirements.
When the debate on the bill was thrown open, some lawmakers supported the bill and called for its passage.
I don't know anybody that smokes seriously that has ever missed that final thing, which is predictable, which has been predetermined, which is death, early death. And so this bill really is to save lives. And, somebody's talking about the tobacco industry in this country, and I know that these companies, were virtually driven away from the developed countries, and they had to emigrate virtually, to developing countries like Nigeria. Why is it that only tobacco is the only industry that is making it in Nigeria? They should diversify. They should go into more healthy lines of production, cocoa and all that, and gradually pull away from that. We want money, we want jobs, but we don't want jobs in an area that will lead to massive death among our young people. Mr. President, also, I'm very, very happy about this bill because it emphasizes on the need not to glamorize tobacco smoking, because it's the packaging, the advertisement of tobacco products, how you make a special appeal to young people that drag them into smoking. And I think we're getting to a point that actually, what they do abroad, we should apply it. That is, you drive away people from public places, from restaurants. To smoke abroad now, you virtually have to run to a garden or somewhere, far away from humanity and go and smoke. We should make it very uncomfortable for people to smoke.
There were, however, some lawmakers who called for an outright ban on smoking in Nigeria. But this met some opposition.
In my humble view, tobacco consumption is supposed to be banned.
In the early 60s and 70s, people smoke and they look at it as, they have attained a particular class. So people want to smoke and people want to show off their smoking. But I think Nigerians have come to appreciate that it is deadly. It is not something to be encouraged. Now, Mr. President, the question is, who are the people now smoking, the class of people? They are the younger ones, the students. You go to Nigerian universities, you see students smoking in the afternoon, at night. Now, those who smoke, apart from the students, are the poor people. People who are going through the harsh economic situation. They have resorted into smoking as a way of easing tension out of them. Now, I think, Mr. President, I want to just support what Senator Managers have said. I do not see any reason why we should even allow the manufacturing of cigarettes in Nigeria. Because I do not believe in any economic benefit that a cigarette is contributing to our economy.
There is what we call sovereign timidity. When sometimes...
Sovereign what?
Sovereign timidity. That is when a country or a people are afraid of what a section of the population will do, and they are cowed by it. And sometimes you consider the election issues. I want to pray, sir, that Nigeria should be bold enough to take this decision, because